biceps were so tight, it looked like he was you know, even when he carried a 45-pound plate, he couldn't straighten his arm.
That's wild.
But then also your tricep is bigger than your biceps. So if you want big arms, you want big triceps. But he actually couldn't completely straighten his arm and go the full range of motion on any tricep exercise because his bicep was so tight.
That's crazy. Just from like overtraining it?
I have no idea. I was trying to be subtle. I probably wasn't subtle. And I was sure he was probably like thinking, like, that guy's always checking me out. And I'm really just like, I just want to forcibly stretch your bicep.
Right. You probably don't even know it's like an issue either. You're probably just like focusing on that, you know?
A lot of guys think that hard muscles are like good, but if you're not contracting your muscles, they shouldn't be hard.
Right.
Like when you're not contracting them, they should kind of feel like Jello or like Play-Doh.
Okay, yeah.
They should have some softness and some give to them when you're not contracting them.
Right.
But the rounded shoulder thing is extremely common.
Yeah. Definitely like fighting against, you know, working on a computer 5 days a week, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And then coming home and being on a phone and stuff, I'll catch myself like hunched over that. So.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes you'll see people in the gym exercising to combat that. I remember I was at the gym and this one guy was like, he was really muscular. Like about, you know, I would say like 50% bigger than you.
Okay. Yeah.
And he was like doing some exercise. Look, he was trying to fly with like 5-pound weights, like I guess it was some kind of reverse fly. And I asked him like, why are you using such low weights? You're like so huge. And he says, oh no, this is because I work at a computer, and I got this from physical therapy to help pull my shoulders back.
Okay, that makes sense.
So you see more people doing those physical therapy exercises at the gym, because you know a lot of people end up having to go to physical therapy because they end up in just so much pain.
Right. That's yeah. I go about once a week right now, so that's kind of where I got the crossover symmetry stuff. It's like super lightweight, like before you do anything else, basically. It's supposed to like activate like those small muscles that pull it back.
They don't want to fight with insurance.
Yeah, I get that.
Which I understand. I mean, I took a medical massage class, but at least in the class I was taught that basically the definition of medical massage is that a doctor orders it. So if you say you do medical massage, it's almost always going to be with insurance.
Okay, yeah.
Because that's kind of the whole reason a doctor would tell someone basically the whole reason you would go to your doctor to get a prescription for massage so your insurance can pay for it.
Right.
But then dealing with insurance can just be a nightmare.
Oh, I can imagine, yeah. They make it easy on the consumer or like the physician or whatever. Then.
So I took the class, but I will never take insurance.
Yeah, it's probably not worth the headache.
And then some of the classes I've taken, like, I listen to the chiropractors or physical therapists talk, and they're like, oh, I have to do all this stupid stuff because if I don't do this thing, then, insurance won't pay me because I have to do a certain treatment for a certain amount of time, even though I don't need to do it for that amount of time. So I have to do all this fluff stuff and all this, and they just have to do a bunch of stuff to get insurance to actually pay them.
I gotcha. A lot of hoops to jump through.
Mm-hmm. Especially a class I took with a chiropractor, they were like, during every break, they were just talking about how much they just want to get away from like taking insurance.
That's not convincing if the teacher is like, fuck this.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it was helpful. With the medical massage class, I was very happy. She was pretty honest. She was like, yeah, just don't even try to deal with HMOs. It's not worth anyone's time. Don't try to deal with Texas work. I think it's workforce, but like workers' comp.
Right.
They used to be pretty easy to deal with, and now they just require an insane amount of paperwork for everyone you deal with.
Really?
Yeah. I think she said recently she just decided she no longer takes people from workers' comp.
Yeah. Sometimes it's just not worth it. Just go for cash or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Then you almost need like a billing assistant or something.
Yeah, pretty much. Which makes everything more expensive because you need someone literally to fight with the insurance company. You have to pay someone to fight with the insurance companies to get your money.
Right.
I'm gonna fight for Texas, but well, you didn't fill out this form. This kind of identical to this other form, but if you don't fill it out, we won't pay you.
Yeah, that all sounds like a headache for sure.
I guess every 30 minutes it creates another file because the files are like massive.
Right.
But I thought it was like seamlessly, but it's like a few seconds like in between.
Oh.
So if I tried to stitch them together, it looks like I like jumped to a different part of the body.
Oh, I see what you mean. Kind of lose that few seconds.
Yeah. But if you know someone who's like, I mean, I don't know why someone would say this to you, but if anyone's ever said to you, like, I've always wondered what it would be like to massage you.
have that ready.
Yeah, you say, oh, well, you can, well, I guess no, I don't have it. I might use it on my head on someone. I bought like a strap to put it to my head so it looks like you're massaging someone.
Oh, that's cool.
But this is like next to the table. So this is, I guess, would be more like if someone ever wants to know what it would be like to stand next to you while you're getting a massage.
Oh, that's fun. I love that.
Yeah. I try to put it farther away, but it kind of made it look like somebody was standing in the doorway while you were getting a massage.
Oh, really?
And I'm like, that's just a little creepy.
A little bit, yeah.
I don't know if you play video games, but I did an experiment. I did do part of like the back. I worked on someone's back and I had the strap on my head and the camera on it. And because you don't really see my arms, like, do you play video games?
I do, yes.
Yeah, I don't know if you've ever played like Skyrim or Fallout or those kind of games.
Yeah.
So yeah, because you only see my arms, it kind of looks like you're playing Skyrim but massaging someone.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's kind of weird to look at because you just see the person massaging and you see someone's like black arms and hands, but you don't see like anything else.
Like kind of first person view.
Yeah.
That's fun. I like that.
See, I just like made a Instagram story and joke like, yeah, if you ever want to know, feel like what it's like to be a black man massaging, someone, here you go.
That's cool. I like that.
Yeah, it was very funny because it really did like look like a Fallout.
Really? Yeah. That's pretty cool. Do you play video games?
Yes, I'm planning to. I don't know if you follow me on Instagram, but sometime around the 1st, I will be putting a post up on Instagram saying, I don't know who you are. None of you matter to me anymore. Starfield has come out. Everyone's dead to me for the next 2 weeks.
Nice. That'd be fun. What console is that on?
It's on Xbox and PC.
Okay.
Yeah, Microsoft bought Bethesda, so it's not on PlayStation.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
So do you like Skyrim too?
Yeah. I preferred Oblivion to Skyrim.
Yeah.
I mean, I liked a lot about Oblivion more. Honestly, I just don't even like the setting of Skyrim.
Yeah, it's like the most like mundane place in Tamriel. Like, here's the basic one that looks like Europe.
Yeah, like even when I play Oblivion, like that, like going up to like Broom and all that were like my least favorite parts of the game.
Yeah.
I like going down to like Anvil, like that kind of area.
Yes.
Even like the more black marshy area.
Yes, I do love that too. What are they called? Like the lizard people?
Yeah, the Argonians.
Yes. I haven't played in a minute, but they keep trying to sell that fucking game. Like they'll just repackage it and like here's the special edition, and it comes with a map. And
I haven't played in a while, but I mean, I'm pretty sure I played 500 hours.
Yeah.
I mean, the game came out so long ago.
Right.
It came out so long ago.
I think I got started with like Morrowind back in the day. I think that one like had the best story.
I never finished it because like I need a little bit more hand holding.
Okay.
And like they did not hold your hand at all with Morrowind.
Yeah, it was pretty like free open world.
Yeah, they're like, oh, just go find that guy. He's somewhere over there.
Yeah.
Like in the future games, they're like, oh, we're literally going to give you like a little compass that tells you exactly where to go.
Right. I didn't even think about it. They didn't even have that.
No, it's like literally you have to like go and like look up a game guide, and it's like, oh, you're going to go to this mountain, and there's like a little crack in this mountain, and it's hard to see. You're going to make a right and go in there. There's a cave, and then it's like you literally like it was. I mean, I guess that's great gameplay. Like it was very realistic.
Yeah.
But at the time, even I don't have a lot of patience as a gamer.
That one did require just a lot of time. Like I would play all night and like wake up and it would be sunlight out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't even actually think about how unstructured it was, but a lot of times there there was a code, like a cheat code that you could do in the command console,
Mm-hmm.
and it would take you to the next objective in the quest. And I found myself, now that you say that, I remember like I would do that all the time because I'm lost. Like
back then I
what
didn't
was supposed to do.
I didn't back then I did not have was not a PC gamer.
Okay, yeah.
Because that came out I think on the original Xbox as well.
Yes.
And that was my first Elder Scroll game. So I mean now if it was on PC, I am very. I actually have a game I play right now called RimWorld.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, I forget what it's called. It's basically God mode, like the cheat. I think it's like the dev whatever.
Right.
But it's basically like the cheat command like thing is permanently like on the top of my game.
Yeah, sometimes it's fun to play like that.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of switch it up. Yeah, with Morrowind, like you could give yourself any item. There were codes for that. There were like codes to like change your stats, so you could make your health like 1,000,000 or change gold. Pretty much there was like some way to alter every single thing. Teach yourself a spell, whatever it was.
They had a lot of spells too. Like they had a levitation spell that they never seemed to bring back for some reason.
Yes.
Which I guess would have probably broken Oblivion though.
I think that's what it was. I think because I definitely once I got that in Morrowind, it was just like doing whatever, like definitely allowed you to do things you probably didn't make sense to.
Yeah, like I can just fly up there.
Yeah. That there were some other ones like the recall spell, like you could do it in a place and it would take you back to a place. I think a lot of the movement spells they did away with in future games.
Which I just kind of, I mean, I would prefer they just bring it back and just let, if people want to, cheat,
Right,
cheat.
exactly. Yeah, I haven't played in a minute, or anything like that in a minute. I've been stuck on Fortnite for a little while. Just getting my inner 14-year-old out.
Gotcha.
It's kind of like easy pick up play for 30 minutes or, for 4 hours. Like just
which definitely those Elder Scroll games are not easy pick up play.
No, you gotta have some time. So, yeah, that's kind of where I've shied away from those lately.
Well, their next one's coming out.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Starfield's coming out next week, I guess.
Oh, that's what it is? Okay.
Yeah, it's a space epic.
Oh, interesting. But it's made by the same developer.
Yeah, it's kind of like, I guess, like Fallout meets, oh God, what's that game? I've never played it. It's been on my list to buy. I guess I won't buy it now. It's No Man's Sky.
Okay.
It's kind of like Fallout meets No Man's Sky.
Oh, that's cool. Fallout was fun. I didn't play it a whole lot, but I respect it. I have a lot of friends that really like it.
I like the third one better than the fourth one.
Okay.
I thought the story was better.
I don't remember.
Actually, I hated the story. The main story of the fourth one, I hated. It was just,
Really?
it ended up being like, oh, like I'm trying to find my son, and you find out, oh, my son's the head of this basically evil organization. And it's like, oh, this is a crappy. Yeah, I did not find the story rewarding.
Yeah. Sometimes it feels like that's just like an afterthought, like we want to do what we want to do, but we're gonna like stitch together a story to make it work.
And then there was like, well, no, there was that one quest where you like help these ghouls get into a hotel room. And like, well, not a hotel, but I guess the people made a hotel like this city.
Okay.
And they're like, oh, because like Fallout, they're like racist against like ghouls. Like, you guys suck. And it's like,
right.
And so like the ghouls like, we want to live there too. They're like, no, they're horrible people. And like, you guys are kind of assholes. They're just ghouls. Like, they're not bad people. And so you fight to let them in, and then you find out the ghouls actually massacred everyone inside and took over.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
That's crazy. I don't
feel
remember
bad
which one I played. I know, right? Sorry, little town.
Yeah. But it was a cool little switch. Like you thought you were doing the right thing.
Right.
And you're like, oh no, I am now responsible for everyone's death. And then I believe I was like, I should know that the emperor's like hidden son was the most important.
Right.
No one is literally, you're not going to be known throughout history.
Right. Yeah, that was a really good one. I remember like all the gameplay, all the gates start opening and stuff.
Yeah.
The final battle. It's a good one.
Yeah, I don't think I ever finished Skyrim, like the main quest.
I remember having like some kind of issue where I think I finished it and then my save like didn't complete or something like that, and then I just never like finished it again. So like, I guess technically I did once, but it was never like saved. Unfortunately, I was like, it was not good enough for redoing this.
Or maybe I did and it was so unmemorable
Yeah.
that I forgot. Because maybe I did. I did defeat, what's his name, Alduin, the bad dragon. I defeated him twice. I don't know if that's the end though.
Okay.
It was like in some like shadow realm or something. I defeated him the second time.
Yes.
Where they're like a bunch of like dead, basically they're Vikings.
Right.
I forget the name of the people, but they're basically Vikings.
Yeah, I don't even remember like the how that one really ends either. I think like the expansions are really good too. I forget the one where you go to like the Mad Gods like
But
world.
see, that's Oblivion. That's not even Skyrim.
Yeah.
Oblivion was really good.
See, that one's really good.
Yeah, that was Shivering Isles. That was Oblivion. That was really good.
So good. There were some other ones for that one too, like expansions, right? Like other worlds.
I think a lot of people just like Skyrim because Oblivion like wasn't as big.
Yeah.
It kind of just got like kept snowballing. Like Morrowind existed, and like a lot of people got into that, and then more people got into Oblivion, and then more people got into Skyrim.
Right. They've been kind of quiet for a while because those all came out a long time ago.
Yeah, other than like you said, them trying to put Skyrim on everything.
Yes.
I don't know if you can still do it, but at one point you can play it on Alexa.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like literally, if you like have Alexa, you can just like play Skyrim, and there's like a little audio game that you can play, and you can tell her like what to do.
Have you seen all the like the TikTok trend where people will be like NPCs?
Yeah, some of them are really
silly.
good.
Yeah,
I don't even know how you move like that.
I know, just like kind of like make it repetitive, and yeah, there are some that are really good.
I'm seeing. I can't remember what game. It might have been like a Grand Theft Auto thing, but someone was like pretending to chase. No, I don't think it was Grand Theft Auto, but they were doing one of those stupid things where it's like, oh, I have a quest for you. Follow me.
Yeah.
and like the person like so they had to follow him. He's all walking slowly, and then he clips into like where this tree is.
Yeah.
And you like can't get the person to get out.
Yeah, I saw one that did like that, like the hookers in Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah,
like,
those are so funny.
And then walks into a wall, or like dies and drops money or whatever.
I saw one where like the woman was like doing like the hooker from Grand Theft Auto like dance, and like it is so weird to see someone do that in real life.
Right. It's like this is so unrealistic.
Like seeing someone do that in real life, like that's actually really good because I don't even know how you move your body in that like in that weird robotic like manner.
Right.
And then like seeing it in real life, I'm like, was that ever supposed to be sexy in the game?
Yeah, looking back at them, it's like, man, there were some really like some big limitations of the game engines back then, like the physics engine.
Even though, so I follow this Reddit page called Crazy Fucking Videos. And it's like, some of the videos you really just, you're like, I wish I didn't see that. Like, it's, if you don't have a strong constitution, I would not go there.
Really?
It is like, I have seen like dozens of people die.
Oh no.
Like, it is those kind of like videos. Like, on Instagram, for example, they had the guy who like, he was working out with his dad, and he was like doing some like, his, a PR for the squat. On like a weight he had never done before, and he died.
Oh.
And so they said he died on Instagram, and you see him like struggling. No, on Reddit, you actually just saw that it could decapitate him.
Oh.
Like his head didn't fall off, but his head was so limp. It's like, yeah, that just broke his neck and killed him.
Oh,
so
crazy.
Yeah, that subreddit, you will just see people die.
Oh.
But sometimes they'll have people like get hit by cars, and you see it, and you're like, oh, video game physics are actually kind of real.
Right.
Like when you get hit hard enough, you really do fly.
Yeah.
Like in those video games.
Right.
Like you really do fly like a ragdoll.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. It's supposed to be like the Unreal Engine. I guess it's been out for a little while that everybody's using. That it's supposed to be pretty accurate in terms of just like falls, flings, like.
Yeah, and you think that that's not how it is until you see those people getting hit. Because some people get hit by cars going like 50 miles an hour or more, and they like do the whole like cartwheel in the air, lifeless thing.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. Crumple.
Yeah, I don't know why I like to go to that subreddit because I like. I'm surprised I haven't been evicted from my apartment from screaming at like 2 in the morning.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like it's for me. I'm gonna skip that one.
Yeah.
I'll take your word for it though, that it's accurate.
Even on Instagram now, I was like, oh, you like to watch like crazy things happen to people. But Instagram is tame.
Right.
Like
yeah.
I saw a video recently on Instagram. They cut it off. I hope she's okay. But some stupid like woman, like there was a bear, and maybe it's because she was afraid. Maybe I give her a benefit of the doubt. But it was a mama bear at her patio, and cubs, and the door was open, and she's like, "Oh crap, a bear!" And I guess maybe she was going to close the door, but it was like at the door, like closer to the door than she was.
Damn.
And then she gets close, and it like swipes at her, and you just start hearing her screaming.
Oh, that's wild. Yeah, I would have taken off.
Yeah, it's like no, that bear is at the door. Like you cannot close that door before
Right.
that bear gets in.
Right. Yeah, it's time to just abandon the house at that point.
Yes.
It's the bear's house.
And it's a mama bear with her cubs. Like she is about to like rip you to pieces.
Right.
And it was a grizzly.
Oh wow. Like apex predator.
Yeah. I recently read apparently their skulls are so dense that they can like withstand like shots to the head.
Really?
Yeah.
I can see that.
I even saw a video recently. Oh goodness. I would never live anywhere with grizzly bears. So apparently they actually just start eating their food while it's alive.
Oh really?
And this bear caught this fish and just peeled its skin off while it was alive.
Oh man. I can see that. That's brute force. Like nothing but muscle there,
Yeah, but I mean like I've never seen an animal like eat another animal. Like normally they kill it first.
Yeah.
And like the fish is like sitting there wiggling and struggling and its skin is like ripped off.
Yeah, that's true. Like big cats and stuff, they always like suffocate it first.
Yeah.
They don't want to like accidentally get injured is like typically the reason.
And I guess the bear is like, what is an injury?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, what could you do to me?
Right.
I also saw a video of a guy who was attacked by a black bear.
Really?
It tried to jump on him. I don't know if it was jumping for trees or what, but he was near a cliff. And he like backed up and pushed it off the cliff, but the cliff was like only 10 feet high.
Oh.
And so it kept running up the cliff to get him. And he was like kicking at it and just screaming. And eventually like it went away.
Really?
But it like charged him like I think like 3 times after it fell down.
That's so scary. I came really close to a mountain lion one time hiking in Big Bend, and yeah, it was pretty scary. Like it was definitely like being stealthy, like kind of going around, and we were like the first ones on the trail that morning. But it was crazy because then like girls and stuff were walking by us. And we're like, hey, by the way, there's like mountain lion over there.
Just like,
be ready.
Yeah, be careful.
Yeah, we like picked up like rocks and big sticks just in case, and we were like. It pretty much like didn't watch our back,
I would die.
Yeah.
I saw one. I don't know if you ever saw that video of the guy who was being like charged by a mountain lion. People said he must have been near cubs about how like aggressive she was.
Oh yeah.
And like it was like charging him over and over again. He just kept backing away and like yelling.
Yeah.
Which I would have run, turned and screamed, and like she would have jumped on me and just like bit me through the head.
Right. That's crazy.
Like I know you're supposed to like back away and make yourself look big for a mountain lion, but I would not have composure.
Yeah.
And I would just turn and start screaming and running.
Yeah, in the moment, it all changes for sure.
I am not one of those people who overestimates my survival skills.
Same. It was cool to see. Just amazing creature, but also we were freaked out for the next half mile, you know?
I don't think I would find it cool to see. I'm always surprised at how big some animals are.
Yeah.
Like, I am afraid of horses because of how big they are.
Yeah, they can easily, just trample you if something goes wrong, even like an accident, or kick the shit out of you. Another one.
Like, the first time I can remember getting close to a horse, I mean, I probably got close to when I was a kid, and I'm like, oh, it's so cool. But like, I was like a teenager, and I'm like, this thing is so freaking huge.
Yeah, they are. It does kind of make me uneasy. Like, I love them, think they're very cool, but I want to have someone there that like really knows what they're doing.
Yeah. And then I've seen all these videos where apparently like camels are very, like they will mess you up.
Really?
And they are also very big.
They are. I never would have thought that.
Yeah, this one guy I work on, I record him a lot. He's very funny. If I go long enough without recording him, he'll like say like, oh, like at one point I put a story on Instagram and I said, I just want calves like a white man. And he was like, oh, well, you can massage my calves again. I'm like, you know what, I appreciate that. A closed mouth doesn't get fed.
I love that.
Like so many people are always like, oh, I don't want to feel like I'm asking. Like, not a mind reader. Sometimes, the squeaky wheel gets the grease. But he's an actual cowboy.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And where he works, I guess they also have a camel for some reason, and a zebra.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, if you look on my Instagram, I haven't posted him on Instagram in a while. But he's like the hairy older white guy.
Oh, okay. I'll have to check it out.
But I tell him every time I see you near really the zebra, because I've heard they're just vicious, I get worried for his safety.
Yeah, I've had one like try to bite at me before, and I try to like. Have you ever done like in New Braunfels? There's like a drive-through zoo kind of thing. So like the animals are just like roaming around, and you just kind of drive through. It's like a walk up to you for the most part. And a zebra was like trying to put his head in there and like biting at me and shit. I was like,
yeah, see, I don't believe in those. I always see those like on like the line. I'm like, no, like I need like number one, I'm not gonna do it in a Jeep.
Right.
Like we're doing this in a car with windows.
Yes.
Like I saw recently a video, like people just in this Jeep, and I don't know if they were like in the U.S. or maybe they were in Africa, but a freaking like lion just got into the Jeep. And it's just like looking around.
That would not work for me for sure.
I mean, I would have paid all my money going wherever they were, and then as soon as I saw the Jeep, I'm like, where are the windows?
Yeah.
I'm not going on that. Like, I demand a refund. I do not see any windows. There's nothing. What if that thing wants to get inside?
Right. Exactly.
Recently, like nothing. Like I'm too safe, so I need to do parkour in between buildings.
Yeah, that's not me. I'm good.
Like when you live somewhere where like you might encounter like a opposing militia on your way to work, you don't do parkour between buildings.
Right, exactly. You got enough to worry about.
And then I always think, I don't know if I'm weird for this, but whenever it comes to that thrill stuff, I always ask myself, like, how fast will I die?
Yeah. Is this going to be a painless death?
Yeah.
Or,
Or am I gonna survive and live another 20 years wishing I was dead?
Yeah, with some disfigurement or whatever.
Or some just horrible, painful injury that I'm like on opioids for the rest of my life because every minute of my life is like excruciating pain.
Right. Yeah, like that.
Like I have a client who was hit by a truck, and she's got surgery. The surgery actually made the pain worse.
Really?
Yeah, so she went from having like a lot of numbness that she couldn't feel her back, to now her back is just painful all the time.
Oh, that's even worse.
Yeah. You can like end up like just dealing with like chronic pain is no joke.
Right.
But I guess also as a massage therapist, I've dealt with so many people who have chronic pain.
Right.
Like I've dealt with people who come in limping and like, yeah, I'm actually feeling good today.
That's
Like,
a good day, yeah.
When I'm in good pain, they're like, oh no, like, oh yeah, I'm like limping and like I'm grimacing. This is actually a better day for me.
That'd be terrible.
Which is why I always say, if you get into a car accident, go to the doctor.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, oh, it didn't feel that bad.
Yeah.
I've worked on so many people who were like, oh, I got into a mild car accident 20 years ago.
Wow.
And I've had that pain ever since.
That's wild, yeah. Yeah, I mean, the force involved in that is just like crazy for our body.
Mm-hmm. The human body is extremely fragile.
Yeah.
If you compare us to like most other animals, we're pretty fragile.
Yeah, I can definitely see that.
I'm pretty sure most other animals don't get cut by paper.
Right. Yeah, and then it hurts so bad.
Yes. But that's how thin our skin is. We get cut by paper.
Right.
But I'm happy that you were able to do that. Was it an open Jeep kind of thing? I guess that's why the zebra tried to bite you?
So, you actually just go through in your car. So,
okay.
Yeah, you can have the windows down or whatever you want to do, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So, in that case, like, we had the windows down, like, oh, we feed the zebra, and it was just so aggressive.
No, my windows are, they might be cracked.
Right.
But they are, basically your mouth is not getting in this car.
Yeah. That one was aggressive. It had to like kind of push his head out, and then the other ones are like ostriches, extremely aggressive.
Yeah.
And just like they're birds, so they just like move very quickly. It'll be just going for like still to like coming at you in like 2 seconds. So that one is kind of freaky. And then they when they were like really in your face, you're like, you're a dinosaur. Like you're an absolute dinosaur. So you need to get out of this car.
You see them up close, they're just huge.
Yeah. No, we were in like a F-150 and it was taller. It was like bending down.
Gotcha.
To see in the window, so.
Yeah, those cars are huge.
Yeah.
Well, is there like multiple types of F-150s? So like.
Yeah, there's like. Cause
I saw one in the parking lot. Because I saw one in the parking lot. Said it was like an F-150, but I think it was like a 4x4 or something.
Yes, yeah.
And I was like, this car should be illegal to exist.
Yeah, because there's like extended cabs and like.
I think that's what it was. It was too big to actually be in one parking space.
Yeah, people still have those in Houston and drive around in like tight city parking lots. So yeah, I never would. I'm not fighting to like park somewhere, or I gotta back up or do a 3-point turn. No.
This truck is insane.
Or like the dually ones with the two tires in the back, those always go over the line. Like it's literally impossible to get it in a standard parking spot. So you gotta like edge around it. So
I see some of these trucks. I'm like, I just feel like you need a CDL.
yeah, for real.
cowboy, they have the zebra. He does say like he doesn't really let the zebra deal with anyone but him.
Really?
Yeah, because he's like the zebra's nice to me. I think it's a he, but he's like he loves attention, but like we just can't trust him around anybody else.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, they're like aggressive horses.
Yeah.
Whereas horses are just chill.
Maybe chill, just too big for me. I don't want to be. I don't like dealing with animals that. I wouldn't say they could see me as food, but a zebra wouldn't see me as food. So something that thinks it could easily kill me.
Yeah.
I guess the whole food thing was like, because I'm from Florida, so like you have people who will buy these like giant snakes.
Yeah.
I was like, no, that won't eat you. Like that is a Burmese python. Like they literally eat people in Asia,
right,
all the time. Like someone goes missing and they're looking for them and they see like a snake that's like bloated and they cut the snake open and the person's like dead inside.
Oh, yeah, that'd be wild.
And I've seen videos where they're like, "No, this isn't my python," and it's like wrapping around slowly, like, "Oh, it's just trying to eat me," and it's like, okay.
Yeah, absolutely not. A small snake would be cute, but it's gonna get big, so.
I don't like snakes at all. I'm not a big fan of reptiles. Ugh.
They don't bother me much. I think they're interesting. I don't know why, but I was always interested in them as a kid. So.
I can handle some like smaller snakes.
Yeah.
I just don't like have much of an interest in them.
The reptile like house is my favorite thing at the zoo.
Really?
All that, yeah.
It's just kind of just less creepy to me.
Yeah, they're definitely creepy. Definitely like an animal you don't trust either.
Yeah.
You know?
But then again, when it comes to pets, I'm like, you know what, just dogs.
Yeah.
and I like ferrets. I always warn people not to get ferrets.
Right.
They are not as low maintenance as you think they are.
Yeah. They're hybrids. My like childhood friend had one like growing up next door, and it was always running around doing stuff.
Yeah.
Stinky.
Like I always tell people, like imagine if you had a 2-year-old that was small enough to climb under the fridge, but agile enough to like climb over the sofa.
Right.
It was always trying to fill it up with like the beer pong balls. But sometimes what I would do is I would put him into it and I would pour them in and he would just freak out. Like it was the most amazing thing ever.
That's cute. I love that. It's like a giant ball pit.
Yeah, a couple would fall on, he would look around and they would start falling and he would just start freaking like, oh my god, they're everywhere. Like, he loved his little beer pong balls.
That's so cute.
Only thing was he had this weird habit of I guess his game was to go inside and push them all out.
Oh really?
So one by one he would go inside and like nose them out of the container.
Oh man. That'd be annoying, like to clean it up, 500 of them though.
Yeah, and I'm like, what are you doing? Like why? And I could have later called him like bitey, because he liked to nip.
Really?
Yeah. She would never. You could put your finger at her mouth and she's like, I'm not biting you.
Oh, that's good.
And him, if you held him for more than 45 seconds, like, put me down. And then one day I was like cleaning his cage. I guess he wanted to show me something. I don't know. But he like grabbed my finger with his teeth and was like dragging me into his cage.
Oh no, that would have freaked me out.
Because they basically use their teeth like we use our hands.
Okay, that makes sense. I'm sure they have like strong jaws too, so I'd be like,
yeah. Well, so if a ferret wants to make you bleed, they will. Like they are very good at using their teeth and not making you bleed.
Okay, yeah.
So if a ferret bites you and you bleed, it's like a dog. Like that was intentional.
Right. You would see that.
But yeah, other than that, he was pretty aloof. He wasn't as smart as her, and he was bigger, so he couldn't get in as much trouble. So anytime he did something, I was like, she taught you, didn't she? Because I would see her doing something she wasn't supposed to do, and he's just like watching her.
Just absorbing, huh?
Mm-hmm.
That's cute.
She was just so smart. Only thing was like, so she would get out constantly, and so I would put her back in her cage. I'm like, okay, show me. How'd you get out this time? And she wasn't smart enough to like wait for me to leave. And she would go right to how she. I'm like, okay, so that's how you got it. Okay, so I'll fix that little loophole.
Really?
Yeah, I remember one time I like basically threw her across my bed because I was sleeping and she was about the size of like a really large rat.
Okay, yeah.
And so imagine you're just sleeping and some brown thing about the size of a rat. You wake up and it's like 6 inches from your face.
Oh no.
I like screamed and like pushed away. And she like flew to the other side of my like bed, and then she's like looking at me like, what?
Oh, that's so cute. So she got out all the time?
Yeah.
Oh.
She once got out, and then I had to put wood underneath my door because they can like flatten themselves pretty, really flat. And so she got under my door, and my roommate knew I had ferrets, and I didn't tell him because I didn't expect him to deal with them. Never lift your foot around a ferret because they have a foot fetish. They really like feet.
Really?
Yeah. And so she got out. She was in the living room. He's like, was like, ah, he like lifted his foot up, like the mom from like Tom and Jerry.
Right.
And like she was like, oh my God, you want to play? And she started jumping at his foot.
That's hilarious.
But yeah, they like really like feet.
Interesting.
Like feet and shoes. I'm not sure why.
My cat is kind of like that. Like every time I come home, she will take her toys to the shoes that I just took off.
Mm-hmm.
Like put her head in my shoes, like roll around, just like you can tell she's just enjoying it. And I'll come back and there'll be like 2 or 3 like toys in my shoes or like right next to them. They love it. I guess she likes my scent. I don't know.
Yeah, but that's like a favorite thing. They love feet for some weird reason.
Huh. That's interesting.
White boy would literally like come up to me. I'm so happy he was able to realize when I was wearing shoes or not. Because he would just bite the crap out of the heels of my shoes.
Oh, for real?
And I would just hear and like feel like the force. I'm like, oh, if that was my ankle. Like I would be in so much pain.
Right. Thank goodness no.
Thank goodness you don't. Thank goodness you know the difference between like me and my shoe.
Right.
The funniest thing about them, especially him, actually her too. So like when it's time like to go for me to go to work out, put them back in their cage. They love to play. Like you say, you've seen the videos. They think everything is a game.
Right.
And so I eventually had to learn. It worked more with her because again, like he like didn't care about me. But like I would just lay there like I didn't care about him. I'm like, oh whatever, I don't even care that you're here.
Right.
And they would like slowly walk up to me and I would grab him like, gotcha, and I put him in the cage. Because if you went to go get them, they would like run under the bed or in the living room, under the couch. Or they would run under the dresser. They would run under something.
Yeah, that's every time I like trying to put my cat up or something like that, I have to do that kind of pretend thing too. Like, oh, I'm not really walking to you. And like grab her.
I always like the videos on YouTube of like ferrets with cats because like, the cats are just like, what is wrong with you?
Right. That'd be a funny pair for sure.
You have way too much energy.
Right. Right.
But I partly got them because I'm like, I want something small.
Right.
I don't really like cats. I've dealt with some cats I've liked. They're just too finicky for me.
Yeah.
And I just want something just like I just want to know that you actually do like me, like consistently.
Right.
Because cats sometimes I'm just like I'm not sure. Like do you like me or do you tolerate me?
Right. Yeah, I think it kind of like depends on their personality. Mine is like a dog. Like she'll literally play fetch. She wants to be in your lap. Like just super super loving. And I've always I think it's like how you treat them as a kitten. Like if you're more, aloof, they're gonna be more aloof.
I see.
But like I've always taken the approach of like really kind of like manhandling them, like picking them up, showing them like
getting them used to actually dealing with a person, like,
yes,
constantly.
Exactly. And I think if you're like more like shy about that or scared or just don't really do that when they're young, they'll be more standoffish.
One of my friends, he described cats and dogs like, a dog is like having like, a child.
Right.
And he's like, I guess the way he treated his cats is like a cat is like having a roommate.
That's very true.
He's like, dogs, you gotta give them all this attention. He's like, cats, sometimes you're like, hey, you're there, they're there.
Right.
Every once in a while you hang out, but that's about it.
Yeah, that's more what I need. The dog's a little bit too high maintenance for me.
Yeah.
I love them. I just, not right now. Not currently.
And my last dog was like really emotional if you didn't give him attention.
Oh.
Like he would do this thing, like if you came home and you like ignored him because you had something to do, like he would, like if you like came in and like he's like running to you trying to play, and you're like I gotta put this stuff down, do all this. He would like walk 10 feet away from you, lie down looking at you, and then like when you were like, oh Spike, come in, he would just like look at you like, no, you had your chance.
Oh no, he just make you feel bad.
Yeah, so you had to go to him. He's like, I was all happy and I went to go see you and you ignored me, so like, no, you have to come to me now.
Right. You were fucking done.
But for the most part, he like wasn't very needy. He just didn't like it if you ignored him when you came home.
I got you. He wants that attention right there.
Yeah. Like a cat, he was kind of like, he liked to murder small animals. So when he was an outside dog, because I don't think we didn't have really many animals in the house. So I guess every once in a while like a lizard would get in. But when he was an outside dog, he's like, oh, you want to hang out? No, okay. Well, I'm gonna go torture this lizard over here.
Yeah.
Because like I am like evil. Like I ripped off one of his legs. Like he's limping away, and I'm gonna go punch him and then just stare at him because that's what Spike would do.
Yeah, mine. Yeah, so far she's only gotten like bugs, I suppose. So haven't had too much like coming in with a mouse or something like that. Thank God.
He killed 6 of my neighbor's cats.
Really?
Which I'm like, yeah, if that cat gets in this backyard, like I don't think you understand.
Right.
Spike will kill everything that is not a person or a dog. He only tolerates other dogs, just so you know. I don't know if he knows he's a dog. He only tolerates. He loves people, tolerates other dogs, and every other animal. He's like, I hate you, and like I will kill you.
I'm coming after you, yeah, for sure.
He killed a bird that got in the patio, and I guess they couldn't fly low enough to get out, and he killed a family of possums, which I'm pretty sure he was torturing them. Because I would go outside every day, and there would be like another possum like in between the tree they were in the pool, like facing the tree.
Really?
And I'm like, are you just happening to kill them at this exact spot, or like are you like killing them and like dragging them back, or like psychological like warfare?
For real, right? Showing the other ones.
Like you're next. We went to the park and he submarine attacked a duck and killed it.
Oh wow.
But he was a Rhodesian Ridgeback, so he just like killed it and then like brought it to me and like just sped it out of my feet.
Oh, that's right. So he's trained for that.
So like the next 2 weeks I like called him murderer.
Oh.
He's like trying to kiss me, like you're a murderer, Spike. Like,
right.
You didn't even try to eat that thing. Poor duck.
That's crazy. But it's like it's bred into him for so long.
Yeah.
It's what they do.
All small animals. He's like, I just have to kill it.
Yeah.
And he was really dominant with other dogs.
Really?
To the point where we went to the vet, and like we had to go in through the back because he didn't really fight other dogs. He would just stare at them, and you know how like animals in movies act like when they see the devil?
Right.
They would act like that. Like we would go into the vet, and he would just stare at them, and every dog, they're all freaking out, and he's just staring at them. And I even asked, like, are you the dog devil, Spike? Is that what's going on?
They're just scared as shit.
Because I'm like, they are all just freaking out. We unscrew their sprinkler heads, but he wouldn't damage them. So I think he was like literally just unscrewing them.
Just taking a drink, huh?
And just bringing them to us.
That's so funny. probably just thought of it before.
It just got to the point where we would like go over there, like, you know, every few days, like, oh, Spike got another one of your sprinkler heads.
Here's that bag.
And like when he was younger, he would like you know how they kind of fight the water hose when you like spray the water, like bite at the water. And at some point, he just like, I'm trying to think. I don't think it was Spike. No, I think my cousin. Maybe Spike did fall in the pool. I thought my cousin brought their dog, and yeah, I think it was their dog tried to hump one of the pool toys.
Really?
That was on the edge and fell into the water. And maybe that was actually Spike.
That's so cute. That is hilarious.
But at some point, he just went from like, you know, trying to fight water to like, I don't want to be anywhere near this.
Right. Just avoid it altogether.
And again, it could have just been like he started to associate like water with like taking a bath.
Right, yeah. Just avoid that.
But he just hated it so much. And we did this thing where I said, give me kisses. And I would like turn my cheek to him, because again, he would French you in a second. And he would like lick my cheek. And I would say that after I gave him a bath, that he would just like stick the tip of his tongue out on my cheek.
That's so cute.
Like, you are so dramatic.
You don't have to, like, the cat, like, you don't really have to bathe it at all, so I've only done it once, but,
And that's also the thing with ferrets, you actually shouldn't bathe them more than twice a year.
Really?
If you bathe them too often, their body starts producing more oil and they smell worse.
Oh, I can see that, yeah.
So you really don't have to, but if you do want to, it's like once and maybe twice a year, and that's it.
Okay. It's like kind of maintenance thing.
Like if you bathe them monthly, they would smell so bad.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Somebody probably figured that out the hard way.
Yeah, they're just different than other animals. Like, you can kind of potty train them like cats, but their thing is like they will look up, and if they don't see the toilet, they'll just go into it in the corner.
Oh no, absolutely not.
So they won't like look for like the little tray like a cat will. Like, I don't see it. Okay, I'm just gonna shit in the corner.
This place will work.
And even then, it's like a 75% chance if they do see the toilet that they'll choose to go there.
Yeah, that's too much trouble for me.
And they poop a lot.
Yeah, I do remember that. I do remember like the cage always stinking when I would go to my neighbors.
Yeah, and it's like, how are you alive?
Yeah.
Like, I'm pretty sure you crap half of your weight every single day.
That's probably the number one thing I remember is like the smell.
Mm-hmm.
They were cute, but
they smell so. Oof.
Yeah.
And it's not them. Like they have like a little musk. I like the way they smell. Like there's fur.
Right.
It's their crap.
Yeah, their cage and stuff from it. Yeah.
And just the amount of crap they produce. But I 100% say they are awesome and don't get one. Much, much, much more work than a cat.
Yeah. Just hang out with them every once in a while and have friends or something.
They're comparable to like a large dog and how much you have to deal with them.
Oh no.
And you need to. That's another thing. They get, unless you're going to spend a ton of time with them,
Right.
they get depressive if they're like they don't have like someone to play with often enough.
I can see that. Yeah. They want that like social bonding and stuff.
So either you are going to be playing like you have like a 2-year-old and you're constantly giving them attention. I mean, yeah, it's literally like having a 2-year-old.
Right.
It's like if you have a 2-year-old, but like CPS is not going to take them away if you put them in a cage, basically.
Right. Exactly.
Like, you can put your ferret in a cage and go to work, and you're not going to end up on the news.
Right. Right. I forget how tight my hamstring gets.
Mm-hmm. This side feels tighter than the other side.
Yeah, I kind of remember being told that before. Yeah, I can like take, elbow being dug into my back all day, but then it's like even the lightest touch on my on the back of my leg, I'm like, ah.
Yeah.
It feels so good though. Like definitely just tight.
Well, you take it. I mean, if I did this on your quad, you would have passed though.
Yeah.
You can take more pressure on your hamstrings than your quads.
Yeah, that's another one that I'm always like surprised, like how tight it actually is.
And I can be pretty aggressive on the hamstrings. I sometimes massage people the way I want to be massaged.
Yeah, I support that.
And if it's ever too much, let me know. Like my motto is, it's like that guy from Rocky. If he dies, he dies. So.
Right. No, I definitely like it more intense.
Like I've had someone tell me that the last time I massaged them, they basically said that they're crying into the face rest.
Oh.
Okay, you didn't tell me. I mean, I've had people cry, scream. I had a guy punch the table while I worked his calves.
Damn.
Curse in multiple languages. One of my old coworkers would call me the C word like every 30 seconds, basically.
Yeah, I think I saw some of the videos. I was like, yeah, that would be my reaction.
I've been cursed out in English, French, and German. About a month ago, I had somebody speaking in tongues.
Oh no. That's wild.
He was from Nigeria, so I thought it was like some African language. I said, "Oh, what'd you say?" And he said, "I don't know." I said, "Oh, I said, like, what language is that?" He says, "Oh, that's not any language. I don't know what I was saying."
Oh no, it must have been really good then.
He's dramatic. Well, if you keep coming back, so.
Right, must be working.
And you sent me your brother.
Really?
So like, either it's not that bad or you don't like your brother. So. Even I have joked that if you have someone you want revenge on,
send them their way.
Yeah.
I love that.
Like, oh, I think we finally moved on. Like he even like recommended me like a massage therapist. Like, oh no, he still hates me.
Right.
Like that wasn't a recommendation, that was a threat.
Definitely worth it though. Feels so much better.
I've had some intense massages. I had this Chinese woman work on me. She didn't speak English well, so all she just kept saying was I had dirty energy, which I just wanted to you don't know anything about my energy, number one.
Right.
But then she meant like I had blocked energy. I think it was like she was just translating it wrong.
Right, yeah.
But it was just funny, like dirty energy. But when I say she beat the crap out of me, woo, my goodness.
I got like a Thai massage from I guess Thai or Chinese lady before, and that was the most intense I think I've ever had. Just like every single area was intense as fuck. So that was tough. I feel like if you can get through that, you can get through just about anything.
I always tell people Thai massage is like to me what massage should be.
Yeah.
But I always warn people. Number one, it's not relaxed. Like you think I'm aggressive.
Yeah, that's very true.
Like Thai massage can be much more aggressive, and they'll be like, "Oh, I'm doing it like middle, like medium." And like I don't think you know what medium actually means. But then also I'm like Thai massage is very intimate, so
yeah.
Because a lot of people don't know what it is.
Right.
I'm like somebody is just gonna crawl all over, like just so you know.
Yes. So I didn't know when going into it. I didn't know what the fuck was going on, and then get there like, oh damn, this is real serious.
Just all up in your business.
Yeah, and it was like at that time I was looking for more of just like relaxation massage, not like
that was not.
That was not.
Yeah. If you say that a Thai massage is relaxing, you are just a masochist. I always think, so like when I was in class, one of my teachers did the table type demo on me, and so I'm like laying on the table, you know, all my classmates were around me, but I'm laying on the table, and then all of a sudden, like, oh, yep, that is his crotch on my butt. Like, okay. His hands are next to my shoulders, and his crotch is on my butt.
Yep. I had one
That's
like
funny.
that.
Yeah. I'm not against it every once in a while.
Like I told him, I said, you know, now you can like you can literally say like over 200,000 people around the world have like watched me get a massage.
It's a rare honor.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes, I mean, I put his Instagram on there, so like some of them actually do go to his Instagram. It's funny. He told me, he says like some of them will say, "Oh, I love your work." And I'm like, oh, your work, like as if you did anything, like you were just laying there getting a massage.
Right, exactly. You just were. That's funny.
But I'm like, it's weird for him. Like, he gets all these people like, you know, telling him he's hot,
Always fun.
and he gets a free massage.
Yeah, I'm definitely here for that.
Mm-hmm.
Love that.
I even like show him the stats. I'm like, you're really popular in Indonesia.
Really? That's
Mhm.
funny. You can't see that.
It's always-
The cowboy aesthetic.
Yeah, it's always interesting to see like what you know who watches what. Like I worked on someone who does more how do I say this? More massages for your mental health. Let's just say that.
Okay.
To make you massages to make you feel connected with other people. Let's just call it that.
Right.
And he's like, you know, oh, I love like working with older, like, you know, fat guys. 'Cause, you know, he's like they deserve love too. And then when I like put up the first video I did of him, like the majority of the people who like watched the video were like over 50.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That kind of makes sense. Like they have a sense of what they like.
Mm-hmm. Like normally it's used older, like in the 30s, but like not in the 50s.
Okay, yeah.
So like YouTube breaks down by age groups, and normally it's kind of in the 30s or 40s. That you know, like the bulk of people are. But with his, it was like more than half the people were like 50 and up.
Oh, that's funny. Got to a new audience.
Mm-hmm. And then for some reason, a lot of people watch these to relax and go to sleep.
Oh, I can kind of see
I guess
that.
the second biggest group. The biggest group is thirsty people.
Right.
And then there are people who like, you know, I've had people actually tell me like, watching these videos, they feel like they're getting a massage.
Oh, that's cool. A lot of like ASMR people will do kind of stuff like that on TikTok.
Not that, because I've heard that there's some kind of thing that they say, maybe they're just trying to pathologize me because I don't like ASMR. That they say like people who like don't like ASMR have some kind of issue. I don't know.
Really?
All I know is I hate with a passion.
Really?
Those sounds.
Yeah, I don't really have like a big liking for it. Every once in a while, I've like tuned in and I'll be like, okay, I can kind of see how this is nice, how this is relaxing. But do I want to watch it? Not really.
Like if you want to drive me into a blind rage where I kill someone, I hate it. Like I'm the kind of person like I want to punch you if you sit there and you just chew loudly next to me.
Yeah, I can't do that. But like there's one girl that just like pretty much whispers and like she'll do like makeup brushes on the microphone, like shit like that.
Oh god. Like, literally you saying it like the hair on the back of my neck is standing up. Oh, that's so disturbing.
Yeah, one of my exes would like swore by watching it to go to sleep. Like, yeah, I never really did that, but
you can torture me with that. Like, force headphones on me that I can't take off and like just put those sounds through. Especially like the whispering, someone just whispering to you. It's just like if they're like really close to you, like it's so upsetting.
That's how it is. I like it. I think it's like comforting. It's like somebody running their like fingers through your hair kind of thing.
Okay, the fingers. See, that's a physical tactile thing.
I kind of get the same feeling though from every once in a while.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, and I even hate the way they talk about it because they'll even say like the word, "Oh, I get the tingles."
Right.
And I guess the word tingle to me, like you know how some people hate the word moist.
Right. Yeah.
Like to me, I guess tingles is like that to me. But like I get the tingles, I'm like, ugh.
That sounds terrible.
That sounds disgusting.
Yeah, it's definitely like a big thing for sure, but
I'm like whatever, like there is the exact opposite of people who like ASMR.
Right.
I've tried to watch a few of those videos and like just I am like physically like upset about it. You know, some of them are hilarious. Like I saw a video of a woman just eating Popeye's chicken into a mic.
Oh yeah, for sure. There's one girl that I follow that Trisha Paytas, like she does all sorts of stupid shit like that. Like she'll just do, like she did the NPC trend recently.
Mm-hmm.
Then she'll do like mukbang where you like eating ASMR.
Yeah.
Then she'll do like ASMR where, like her bigger ones where she'll get like Starbucks cups in like varying textures and like do her long ass like nails on them, like clicking on it and stuff. So funny. But she'll pretty much do just about anything to turn a buck, kind of deal.
Yeah. Anyone ever needs to get information out of me, like just tie me up and run your fingernails against something like that, just next to my ears. And I'll be sobbing and ratting on whoever you want me to rat on in their house.
Right.
Like, please just make it stop. Even though there's this one guy, I cannot remember his name, and he's like commented on several of my videos before. It's like ASMR or something. But I guess he does like less aggressive ASMR.
Okay.
It feels slightly more natural.
I gotcha.
And like I can watch his, I don't get it.
Okay.
But like I don't get like this violent reaction to like flee, like just.
Not as horrible, huh?
Yeah, it's not horrible. It's just like I don't get this. It's not. It's like oh my goodness, this is like the worst thing. But it's also like even like I don't like light touch. Like I've had someone in school who was very afraid to massage you, and she would massage you like this.
Oh no!
And I was like, if you ever touch me like that again.
Yeah, it's a waste of my time.
It's not a waste of my time. Like that is upsetting. Like, it feels creepy. It feels like you're touching me from the inside.
Right. Yeah.
And I was once working at a massage site, and this woman, I guess she got a massage like that. She wanted deep tissue.
Okay.
And I gave her just a free massage with me because she was just so pissed off. And she came in and she was describing it like, oh, it was like this really light touch like this. And she's like, yeah, like it's creepy, isn't it? She's like, yeah, it's so creepy.
She felt strongly about it too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I had like one time where they had matched me with like the wrong person. Like I requested deep tissue and they gave me like this grandma that was like just not gonna be able to do it. 100% couldn't. So.
Well, that was just her. I will say this: when I was in school, there was this 70-year-old Russian woman. When I say this woman was strong,
so you break your back.
Like she would grab you and you would like turn around and look and see what like 6'5" football player like relax as much as possible. Yeah, like fall. You would like look to see like what 6'5" football player had walked into the room.
That's hilarious.
Like that 105-pound 70-year-old woman had no business being that strong. It was insane.
I did have one like older woman that was like super strong one time. She was like Eastern European, like, you know. As soon as I try to talk to him, like, girl, I don't understand, but just, yeah, keep doing your elbow.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be good.
It's just like, it's all about how you work and how you like use your body.
Right.
I've had people like, oh, I'm just not strong enough. I'm like, I'm not. Very, trust me, if you saw me bench press at the gym, you would not say strong. I remember once being so embarrassed because I was like working so hard at the gym and I was like, oh my God, that was so hard. It was so hard. And then there's like one guy who wasn't really big, but he was ripped and you can tell he worked out.
Right.
And he got on the bench press after me and he started lifting. I was like, I feel good about myself. He's doing the same thing. And then he got me at it. I was like, oh, that's his warm up.
Oh no.
So the one
That's
that I was struggling to get to 10 reps and worrying if I was going to hurt myself, that's his warm up.
Oh. Yeah, I could definitely see that. That happens to me too, though. I'll just, because like that's one thing, bench press, I'm not trying to die on.
Mm-hmm.
And if I don't have like a spot or something, even that doesn't make me feel super confident. There's just so many other like chest exercises I can do that I can pull myself out of an emergency. So.
Well, if you like had my Instagram algorithm, you would never do bench press again.
Oof, yeah.
It's like learning, like, oh, you like to watch those videos where like it just comes crashing down on someone's ribs.
Yeah. I saw a scary movie a couple of months ago that like that happened. That was just the crunch sound for me.
Yeah, actually, it wasn't the crunch. It was the wheezing afterward because I'm like, oh no, this is like he's serious. This is not hamming it up for the camera. Like he's hurting so bad.
Yeah.
Like he did this. Like this one guy, it fell on him, and he did like that 10-year-old like cry cough.
Right. Oh no.
Oh. And I was like, oh my goodness.
Oh no, that'd be terrible. You know it's bad.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so sore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the inner thighs can be pretty sore. Luckily, I'm not cupping or scraping you here. You didn't need much scraping on your quads.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
I've been cupped on my inner thigh once, and
That's intense.
that is horrible. Relax.
I can see that.
Yeah, the most important thing is to relax, because I do like a decent amount of let's see, they'll get excited if they see something. Relax. I know it's hard. Like sometimes you need to just like take your fingers and move them or your toes.
Okay.
It distracts you.
Okay, gotcha.
So inner thighs is good. There's something in that psoas.
Okay. Thank you.
But yeah, I'll like move your right arm, like it looks like they're sticking their butt in the air.
Right. Yeah.
That's their psoas being so tight. It's pulling their stomach down, but then it ends up rotating your pelvis and pushing your butt up.
Oh, that's like where the pelvic tilt is what they call it, right? Yeah.
It took me forever to figure it out because they call it anterior pelvic tilt.
Yes.
But that would make me think it's the opposite way because I'm thinking, oh no, your pelvis is I would think the bottom is going up if you're saying anterior because that's the front.
Right.
But what's happening is that the bottom is going back because the psoas is pulling down. And then when the psoas pulls down, the spine pulls the pelvis up from behind. One of my co-workers, she described it as giving yourself a muscle wedgie.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I see that. Yeah, I think I saw a TikTok on that a while back. I was like, oh, I think I have that.
A lot of people do.
Yeah.
I remember I took a sports massage class, and they were like, oh well, you have what is it? They said you're tilted to the right. I'm like, yeah, I'm aware of that. Like my whole body tilts to the right. Because we did this thing where we had like this line coming down from the ceiling on something called a plumb bob.
Okay.
And so like they're like specifically designed. I think it's like for construction. So they're specifically designed to be straight. Okay. So if you hang something from a plumb bob, it should hang perfectly straight. So anything behind the plumb bob, if it is not perfectly straight, it'll be easy to see you.
I see.
So we would stand behind the plumb bob, and they can say, "Oh, you're tilted this way. You're tilted that way." And so they're like, "Oh, you're tilted. You're tilted to the right." I'm like, "Yeah, I told you that. That's how I am." And they're like, "Oh, you have an excessive lordotic curve, which is like what happens when you have the anterior pelvic tilt, like your butt sticks up." And I got so upset.
Yeah.
Because I've seen so many gay men who walk like that. I'm like, well, at least I don't walk like that. I don't know why they walk with their butt in there, but I don't walk like that.
Right.
And so they were like basically saying like, oh, you walk with your butt in there. I'm like, no, I don't. Like, I do not have an excessive little dotted curve. And then like when I was going home, I walked past this big this window that you can kind of like see a reflection in.
Right.
And I'm like looking. I'm like, okay, maybe I do. And then my roommate, who was a massage therapist, I'm like, oh, do I have an anterior pelvic tip? He's like, oh yeah, you do. I'm like, oh, okay.
Got a second opinion and everything.
I'm like, okay.
That was me, like, the first time I was told, like, one of my lats are bigger than the other. I'm like, I don't really know what to say to that.
Because you're like, really? But the good thing is, like, most people would never notice.
Yeah.
Massage therapists, physical therapists, like, people like that, we notice things.
Right.
I remember right when I became a physical therapist, I was like, at the gym, and this guy was on the elliptical that was in front of my treadmill. And I was like, oh, he has such a beautiful scapula. And I'm like, okay, that's some serial killer shit.
That's funny.
I'm like, I'm over here noticing, like, I'm going to be the serial killer, the scapula killer.
Right.
Like, he kills them and he takes one of their scapulas as, like, a trophy. But you just notice stuff like that.
Right, yeah. Things I would never notice.
You notice people's posture. Like, oh, this person's walking this way. Oh, their hip is this, their arm is this, their shoulder's this way.
Right.
You just kind of notice that stuff.
That makes sense,
It's hard to tell people because then you say it and they think, oh my God, everyone notices. Everyone's like staring at me like a freak. It's like, no one else is going to notice this.
Yeah, exactly. Like the only time I've been told about the lats thing is like during a massage when they're like staring at your back for an hour.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Like, so someone's like, oh, one of your lats is bigger than the others. Like, so you a massage therapist? Are you a posing coach?
Right, exactly. Something like that.
Like, how would you even notice that? Because most people, if they notice anything, they would just be like, I noticed something, but I don't know what it is.
Right, yeah. Like something's going on. But
yeah. They like wouldn't even know something's off. They're just like, I noticed something, but I don't even know enough to know if it's like good or bad. I just see something.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I was very defensive about that.
I get that.
Because I see so many people, they walk with their butt just sticking in the air.
Right.
And some people really do think it's like attractive.
Yeah. And it's like, no, it actually like doesn't make it look good.
Yeah, and then also the thing about that is that when your butt is sticking in the air like that, you have the anterior pelvic tilt.
Right.
If you have a flat stomach, you won't see it because it gives you an artificial pooch.
Right. Yes. Exactly.
So your spine literally pulls your stomach down, and you have like this little pooch.
Right. Yeah. Once I like became aware of it, I'm like, okay, we're gonna start correcting that. Do more work on
it. And people really don't notice as much as we think they do.
Right.
Like I would bet $100 that you did not notice that my head tilts to the right.
No.
Like constantly. But it does. To the point, like, so with some VR games, because I have a VR headset.
Okay, yeah.
Some of them set the horizon, like, based on when you put the headset on. And some of them, like, kind of adjust it while you're wearing it.
Okay.
So when I put the headset on, a lot of times I'm not aware of my posture and my head tilts to the right. And so I'll go into a game and I'm like, why is that line off? And then I realized, when I put the headset on, my head was like this.
Oh,
and so it thought flat was like this, even though it's like that.
Right. That's funny. Yeah, I catch myself like tilting my head a lot. Like when I'm listening, basically. Like I'll see it on Zoom calls and stuff. I'm like, oh.
And then I've also noticed that my right? One of my eyes is below one of my other eyes.
Oh, really?
Like they're not even.
I've noticed that mine are two different sizes, basically.
But the reason I noticed that was because when I take pictures,
Mm.
I always tilt my head to the side.
Okay, yeah.
And I'm like, why do I tilt my head to the side when I take pictures? And I'm looking in the mirror, I'm like, wait, one of my eyes is lower. And I tilt my head to the side the way I do in pictures. And I'm like, when I do that, you can't see it.
Oh, yeah, it makes it even. That makes sense.
It was like an automatic thing I would do.
Yeah, you probably hardly even noticed it. Just like did it automatically, huh?
Mm-hmm. And like the difference is small enough that literally I can't remember which eye it is.
Right.
But if I go look in the mirror, I'm like, okay, yeah, that eye is like just slightly smaller and slightly lower than the other eye.
Yeah, I only really like see it in photos or when I'm like really looking kind of deal.
And then after I see it, I can't unsee it for like 2 hours.
Right.
And no one actually cares, but you know, like everyone's like staring at me like I'm a freak.
Right, yeah. I had like one person notice it before and that was it.
And also, if anyone's listening and you notice that kind of stuff, shut up.
Yeah, for real.
Just shut up. Unless your profession is to help people with that,
Right.
don't say anything. You are not helping anyone.
No.
Even though they could just have bad social skills like me, like when I used to work at Starbucks. This woman came in, I feel so bad. And I didn't know she was wearing like camel fur.
Oh, really?
But she came in and I was like, oh, your jacket.
That's either alright. I don't need it right now.
Yeah, they're expensive too.
Yeah, they're very expensive.
I got quoted, actually this is like before COVID. And I think they quoted me like 12 million.
Okay, yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
10, 15, somewhere.
Yeah. Maybe 13 because it's like, oh, you pay like an extra like 1,000, we can make them like specifically for your mouth. I'm like, okay, if I'm already spending like over 10,000, why would I not do that?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, why would I spend like over $1,000 for like literal off the shelf veneers?
Made for somebody else's now.
Yeah. Like, oh, where'd you get your porcelain veneers? I got them at Walmart.
You can get the same kind.
You can get the literal same ones.
Yeah.
I was like, I kind of assumed they were always specifically made for you.
Yeah, I didn't even know they were like off the shelf ones.
But then COVID hit, and I was like, all your money belongs to me.
Right.
You have money? Oh, that's my money, actually. Hold on. The government's going to give you some money, but you're going to be so slow, it doesn't matter.
Right.
I remember there were days like November 2020 where I would have like one client.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh no. I definitely slowed down there. Just everything.
And it's slow right now, but the last 2 weeks of August are when it slows down for massage.
I could see that, yeah. And traveling and stuff. Last summer trips and all
Last
that.
summer trips. And then also school, and then it's on Ubers. And I was like, this was a bad idea to me. Because before, I always thought of Texas as like luxury vehicles.
Right.
And then I got in like, what is this crap? Like, this is like a Honda.
Yeah. Yeah, it really, the screen is like the only nice thing about it, but now that's like standard. An F-150 has it, you know, it's like very similar size, everything like that. That was like the one nice thing about it, and then that's gone.
Like at this point, like I no longer think highly of people with Tesla. I don't think of like poorly of them.
Yeah.
But before, when like someone had a Tesla, oh, you got a Tesla, oh really?
Right, yeah.
And now they're like, I have a Tesla, like, oh.
Yeah, okay.
I've had a Toyota before. Like,
Yeah, for real. Yeah, I agree.
And I hate the door handle. It just seems extra for no reason.
I think it's cool. I like it.
But every
But
time I get it, I'm like, I open this door. And I don't get to them often enough to like remember how to do it.
Oh, right, yeah. It's been a while since I've gotten in one. I had some friends, yeah, a couple of friends had them.
Yeah. I'm like, just give me a handle. There's any technology you're not used to.
Right, yeah.
I had a car that was like, my car I loved the most was my 2001 Mustang.
Oh, nice.
Then I got a Prius after that because I had the Mustang the first time, like this not last year, but like years ago, maybe 2008 when gas prices went up to $4 a gallon.
Oh, yeah.
And like I was so traumatized by that. Like just I was spending like $400 like a month
right
in my tank just like to go to work. In 2008 money. And so yeah, it was hard. And so like I'm like I just need a gas like an efficient car, and I got the Prius.
Okay.
But because the 2001 Mustang was like had like a lot of manual stuff, I didn't know like about key fobs and all that kind of stuff. And I kid you not, I embarrassingly sat in the hot sun for 15 minutes trying to start my car for the first time. Because I didn't pay attention to the guy when we were driving around how he started it.
Right.
Because I'm like, it's a car. You just put the key in the thing and then you just turn.
Right.
And like that wasn't how it was. And I'm like online, like Googling, like, how do you start a Prius? I'm like, I'm so embarrassed. And he's like walking by with the next person to show them a car. And I'm like just like sweating and like, hey, everything's great. I'm not an idiot who doesn't know how to start his car.
Just taking a look around for a little bit, hanging out.
I'm not in danger of suffocating in here because I don't know how to like let the windows down yet. I'm like, this is so embarrassing. And then there were just several times I just couldn't open my trunk because I forgot how.
I think I've like forgotten how to open the hood on my car. I like tried because I was gonna clean it the other day, and I tried for like 2 minutes. I was like, never mind, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna fight to clean something. Thank you.
I'm like, you know what? This must be like how old people feel with technology.
Yeah, no kidding.
I'm like, I've gotten to the point where I did not know how to start my car. But what I did like about that is because I'm one of the most forgetful people in the world. And I have locked my keys in my car so many times that even the locksmith told me to get a spare.
Really?
Yeah, like he was tired of making money off of me.
Yeah.
And so with the like the newer cars like the Prius, like it won't lock if the key is inside.
Right. Yeah. Mine is supposed to do that, but it has fucked up before, and I like had the key in my gym bag at the very like trunk. I like threw it in the trunk, accidentally closed it.
So I didn't recognize it.
It was not close enough to recognize it. It was terrible. Yeah, I had to call like AAA or whatever I had, OnStar.
And then with the 2000 Mustangs, anyone who's still listening, please don't steal a car. But they're actually, like, the older Mustangs are so easy to break into.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So, like, the guy, because one time I locked my keys in the car at the pump of a gas station. And the attendant was like, I will just let you leave it in the parking lot for one day, because it was Friday night, too.
Oh, wow.
He's like, I'll let you leave it until Monday, but it's at the pump, so you have to move it. And so I think the guy charged me $200 or $250 to open it, because again, it was at the, he's like, it's Friday, what you gonna do?
Oh, yeah.
It's Friday after 10 o'clock, what are you going to do?
Right.
So I paid like $250. He just took this little bladder thing, he shoved it into the window, and like inflated it.
Okay.
And took like a metal rod that was like 3 times as thick as like a hanger, and pushed it in and opened the door. And then like I gave him the money, he's talking to me, and I'm just sitting there thinking, you need to leave. Because I'm about to snatch it out of your hand. I may be smiling, you may think I'm a nice person. You have no idea how angry I am right now.
Right.
Like, that wasn't worth the money. I'm so pissed off.
Oh, damn.
If you were holding that money, I might snatch it, get in my car, and flip you off.
Right. You need to take the money and run, sir.
They're so easy. And then I eventually found out if I just took the metal part off of like a 5-gallon bucket, I can just push it into the window and like break into my car.
Oh, wow. That's interesting.
And then I was like, oh, my car is really easy to break into. It's like, oh, Mustangs are really easy to break into.
I could see that. Yeah, not a lot of R&D put into protecting it.
It's like one of my clients, she got locked out of her apartment, and her neighbor came and like picked the lock for her.
Mm.
And she's like, it was a nice thing to do, but I don't think he understood how I was gonna take that.
Oh yeah, that's super scary.
Because now I know that he can break into my apartment anytime
Right.
he wants to.
Helpful, but also scary.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I wouldn't want to live near that guy anymore.
Yeah.
I don't care how
How
nice
do
you
you
are.
just know?
Like, I now know that I have never, like, when I'm just sleeping in my bed, there's just always a chance you can just walk in.
Yeah. Yeah, I would definitely have to get like a second deadbolt or something.
That's probably why my old roommate always would deadbolt the lock. He used to get on my nerves with that. I'm like, who did you wrong? I go tap on his window. Hey, can I get into the apartment that I'm on the lease of?
Yeah, for real. That made me mad too. One of my roommates used to do that.
Like, I live here. I pay rent. It was hilarious though. He told me he wasn't afraid of like the dark.
Mm.
And I'm like, yeah, but whenever you go to the kitchen, you leave the lights on when you go back to your room.
That's me too. I don't fuck with that. I just tell Alexa to turn on the whole house of lights, and then I'll go get my drink and come on back. And when I'm in bed, Alexa, turn the lights off.
I was here. I was like, where was I last time? While I was alone and I was afraid. I was working on someone, and he said he had heard something in the hallway. But I'm like, oh, well, you know, his office is here. It's late at night though. I'm like, his office is here. Maybe it's the cleaning person. She normally doesn't come on this day, but maybe she did.
Yeah.
And then, like, after he left and I cleaned everything up and I'm like leaving, I hear something. I start walking around.
Ooh.
And I'm like, well, what are you gonna do? Like, if you see someone, what would you actually do?
Right. Yeah. Like, what's the plan?
I'm like, just leave.
Yeah, I'm never gonna do like the scary movie script and like investigate a sound or something.
Yeah. Because I'm like, if you see someone, I'm just gonna hope they smile. Because if they don't look friendly, I'm just gonna scream and run.
Right. Get out of there.
And I'm very slow. So that's what is the running actually going to do? Like, I'm the person that, like, you know, I don't have to outrun the bear. I just have to outrun you.
Right. Exactly.
You go hiking. Just go hiking with me. Like, oh, we don't need mace or guns or anything. We have Terrence. We can just walk away at a brisk pace.
And be safe.
And put some headphones on as we hear Terrence wheezing and screaming at the same time. Yeah, I caught myself doing that crazy, like, oh, I hear a sound, let me investigate. Like, why am I doing that?
Yeah.
I am not brave.
I had recently turned on like the Amazon thing where you get your like packages delivered into your garage, so they have like access to it, you know. And my bedroom sits just above my garage, so you know the door is like rolling up on the floor, basically the bedroom just below it. And I had forgotten that I had done that, and they made a delivery at like 10 p.m. I was so scared, and the way I was like, oh, this is it. Like, I'm going to bed. Like, fuck this. I'm not going to investigate. I'm not trying to like be curious about what's going on. And it took me so long to realize that I was like, oh yeah, it was like the Amazon key delivery or whatever.
You have like a lock on your bedroom door?
Yes,
Okay,
but
like, you know what? Steal whatever you need from all the other rooms.
Oh yeah, just don't come in here.
Just go out the door and like just put a note on the door. I have not called the police. You know what? Just take whatever you want. Leave me alone.
Do what you gotta do. Yeah, I'm going to bed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did not even get up. and I 100% thought we were getting robbed.
Yeah. Burglary is less of a crime than murder, so just take what you want and leave.
For real.
Yeah, I just tell people like I'm not one of those people who like over exaggerates how tough I am. No, I'm a punk. I don't know. I don't want to fight. I'm just happy that people see a big black man and make assumptions that are not true. As long as
don't get messed with.
As long as I don't say anything, because the moment I open my mouth, people don't take me as serious. I remember I was like at this mall and they had like a theater, and I was going into the theater and like these girls turned the corner, they saw me and they just screamed.
Oh,
and then just looked at me and start laughing. And I'm like, I could be a threat. You don't know. I could be a threat.
Right.
Like, wow, that's insulting. I could harm you.
Right. Right. There's a lot of screaming going on.
Like, you need to go to the hospital. But maybe there are just more masochists in the world than I think there are.
Yeah, probably so.
I'm not one of them, despite what people think because of my business. I really just don't care.
Yeah, you gotta be just like neutral shit, I'm sure.
You're doing well enough, though. Squirming is like normal.
Yeah. I've had like the fascia release and stuff before. I used to go to my chiropractor for it, and I would come away with just like bruises everywhere. It looked like I got beat across my back one time. It was terrible.
Yeah, I don't do it nearly as much as like they do.
Yeah, he would like really go in. So it would be like kind of the area that you're doing here on both sides, and then my whole back would just be like murdered. And it's a real bruise. It's like a week or whatever,
I don't do it on the back because I only do it for fibrosis, so that's that crunching you feel.
Yeah.
And I found that very few people have that on their back, so I don't do it on the back much. I sometimes find it in the lats, but like your vectors, I don't really find it.
That makes sense. Yeah.
That's why I did a little bit on here on your bicep, and then I gave up because there wasn't much fibrosis.
Okay.
So it was like there wasn't a point, because again I don't hurt people because I want to.
Yeah.
If I don't think it's going to help you, I just won't do it.
Yeah, just get that.
Yeah, chiropractors are intense. I had one cut my inner thigh. That was horrible.
Oh no.
Yeah, and it was funny because we were in class and one of our classmates was so pale, the teacher could see his nerves from across the room.
Oh wow.
So he was like, "Oh, you see something? You see it over there? His nerves?" He walks across the room and points at his legs. See that? Yeah. See, when someone's nerves are that close to the surface, when you cup them, it's very painful.
Oh, okay.
And so he went. So my partner was cupping me. And I'm literally reaching for someone to save me. And I'm like, didn't the teacher say that when your nerves are really close, it hurt? And he just didn't care. And then it helped.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, that's not good. I didn't want to help. It helped a little bit. So I was like, okay, yeah, you did your job. I'm happy for you. And then when I took the Grassing technique, I won't do this on you. I've never done it to anybody.
Really?
Like where I work here and I work into the pec minor, which is where you really feel the pain.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so we did that, but with the Guasha tool from underneath your pec.
Oh, wow.
So we didn't do that. We took the Guasha tool, we pushed it underneath the pec, and massaged the pec minor from underneath.
Oh, damn.
Yes.
Wow. Wow.
That was intense.
Yeah, that sounds like it would be for sure.
It was. That's the thing that like left like a really bad bruise.
Yeah.
It was physically painful to touch for a while. Because like actually, it's not bruising. When you see that redness from the scraping, I forget it's called petechiae or something, but it's actually not bruising.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Too much. It's like burst blood vessels. I guess.
forget exactly what it is. I don't think it's burst blood vessels because that will be the bruising, and that's what you get from the cupping.
I see.
Like with the cupping, it is bruising because you literally are like breaking capillaries. I forgot what the redness is from the scraping, but it's called petechiae or something like that. I mean, I understand. What you're gonna do is you're gonna take your arm and go all the way back.
Okay.
And then up, over and over, nice and slow. It's always funny to like look at how people express their pain.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of like laughing in my.
You look like a 10-year-old kid who is trying to do something to impress his parents, but he really doesn't want to because you keep laughing.
It's just like a weird feeling. Like it's intense, but it's not that intense. But it's like very specific.
Because you're doing like that laugh that kids do when they really want to cry, but they're trying to be brave.
Yeah, that's definitely it.
I don't know if you've ever seen that video of that one kid, like this reporter's asking him a question, and he's trying to laugh, and he just like breaks down.
Oh yeah.
If you're doing the laugh, I would imagine he does.
No, I've had some pretty intense pain and laughed through it. I've into a hospital even at that point.
I just curse.
Yeah.
I had a really bad ankle strain like years ago, to the point where I couldn't like actually stand up for 2 days. And I was in the hospital, and I think 40% of my words were "why shit, fuck her."
Yeah, I get that.
But like literally, when I called 911, because I thought I had broken my foot, I had to crawl to the door to let them in.
Oh no!
Like I actually could not stand up for 2 days.
Wow, that's scary.
And that's when I, really made my doctor put me into physical therapy, and because I was like, I've never been in a situation where I haven't been able to actually walk.
Right. Yeah, that's a big deal.
And then my physical therapist was like, yeah, you walk weird. It's probably why you rolled your ankle.
Oh no.
You have a weak left butt, and because of it, you walk weird.
Huh. I feel like everybody's got like something, like something that just throws them off.
And my left butt is the big one, so I thought that was the stronger one. And after you had me do all those exercises, like I woke up the next day and my butt was hurting on the left side. I'm like, why's my butt hurting? It's those exercises?
Huh. Do what it's supposed to, I suppose.
Like single leg deadlifts, he had me do a lot of those. There's just a lot of stuff. But it was like my left glutes were the ones that just like couldn't handle. Like even when he had me just do like step ups, like my left side would tremble. I could do like 20 on my right side, and after 5 I was like just shaking on my left side. I've had several clients that are like, I'm so sorry, I don't know why I'm laughing.
I know. It's just like a weird feeling. It's like, all right, we were definitely like inside the thorax right now.
Well, so this up here is your diaphragm.
Oh, okay.
So when someone has an APEC, the top two are the diaphragm.
Oh, that's interesting.
So it's like a breathing muscle.
Huh.
So it's good to help you breathe. Also, the diaphragm connects to your spine as well.
Oh,
So
okay.
it can be a part of back pain.
Oh, interesting.
So that's why I'm kind of pushing down and then kind of going up a little bit. But I get that a lot. People are always like, "Oh, you're massaging muscles I literally didn't know I had."
Yeah, for sure.
But a lot of those small muscles you're not aware of, like, are very important.
Right.
Like a lot of massage therapists don't massage the QL, which is like when I was working on your hip, I was kind of like lowering your hip like there,
Right.
and like up here when you're on your stomach. That's an extremely important like low back muscle.
Oh, really? Huh.
If one side becomes paralyzed, you actually cannot stand up.
Oh, wow. That's crazy.
And then I think at one point I did massage the front. Yeah, I did massage the front of your neck. That sternocleidomastoid. That becomes a big problem for people who have neck pain.
Oh, really? Yeah, my neck has been super tight. Like the rhomboids has been like pulling, I guess, and so it all of a sudden got super tight.
Well, I would say it might be more the chest.
Really?
Because like I said, you have that rounded shoulder forward. I wasn't hurting you.
No, you're fine. It was just
okay.
intense. It's just like a weird, sensation.
Gotcha. And then this, I will do 3 times.
Okay.
I forget how long you're supposed to do it.
Yeah.
But I did have a friend who did it for someone for 30 minutes.
Oh, wow.
And he pooped himself.
Oh my gosh. That's wild.
Yeah. This is abdominal massage.
Okay.
I'm literally just pushing the crap through you. Yeah, he did it for 30 minutes and he said the client got up, had to run to the restroom and didn't make it.
Oh no.
I'm like, you'll never see that man again.
No, for sure not. That's so funny.
I hope he finds it funny now.
Yeah, for real, can laugh about it. I think you got to.
Yeah. I mean, once when I pooped myself at 24-hour fitness, I'm so happy it was late at night. That's before I realized if you do a lot of cardio, it can kind of get things moving.
Yeah, for sure.
And I did a lot of cardio, and then went to the bathroom, peed, and as I was walking out, I was like, you know what? I think I'm gonna fart. I'll just fart before I open the door.